Hey, welcome to the big night. My name is Jason Haubner. I'm in the American Sign Museum, and we're here for one reason and one reason only, to tell you how you can level up your life. I gotta tell you, some people in this room, they'll be like, oh, I don't wanna level up my life. They're idiots. You and I desire to level up our lives, whether it's leveling up yourself personally or whether it's getting into a new place, getting to a new place in your relationships, getting to a new place in your success, your Instagram follower count. Where is it? You and I are obsessed with leveling up. And I think the reason why is based out of fear. We don't want the same year that we had last year. Do you? Do you want the same year that you had last year? 8th graders in the room. Do you want the same year of 8th grade middle school in high school? No, of course you don't. We want to level up our lives. And that's what we're talking about today. In fact, we're here in the Sign Museum because every single sign behind me promises you they will level up your life. The world is telling you so many different ways that you can level up your life if you buy their goods and services. You want to have a great Christmas? Find a polar bear and a Coca-Cola Classic and you'll have a great Christmas. You want to find a place to cash checks? They got you right here. You want good insurance? Farmers. Every place is trying to get you to trust them to help you to level. The main way I feel like that society's trying to get us to level up is video games. I mean, you and I are obsessed, if we're honest, about leveling up in video games. I'm a gamer, love it, it's awesome. Here's where I'm at on the spectrum. I play Rocket League and I suck at it, but I play Call of Duty and I'm great at it. So you're better than me at Rocket League and I'm better than you at Call of Duty. You better believe that, take it to the bank. But we're obsessed with leveling up. You know, it wasn't always the case that you could just swipe a credit card and level up on the games that we have right now. Back in the day, if you got stuck on a level of Donkey Kong Land, what you had to do was you had to find an uncle or an older brother, and that person was better than you at the game, and you'd hand them the controller and they would beat it first try. And it was like, dude, level up. All right, next level, I get to move. And so you and I have the opportunity to level up our lives. The gaming industry has capitalized this idea of you trying to level up your life. Did you know in America alone, we spent $109 billion in video games last year? That is so much money. That's $315 per person per year we're spending on video games. And the majority of those purchases, I promise you, are grandmas or that friend who sucks at Clash Royale who got stuck. And instead of asking for help or getting better at the game, you know what they did? They swiped their credit card, they paid with Apple Pay, and they bought more troops and leveled up. Or they bought more lives and had more opportunities to get to the next level. We've been capitalized and trained to think the only way to level up is to pay money. The only way to level up is to get more. And what if, instead of focusing only on the external ways to level up our life, what if you leveled up our lives inside? You know what would be different? What would make you stand out in your high school above, head and shoulders above everyone else there? If you had a good day. Aren't you sick of everyone always having a bad day? Everyone's always busy. Everyone's always stressed. And I'm not saying your calendar isn't full. It is. But when was the last time you had a good day? Don't you want that? What if we leveled up and we got to a new place in our lives? The issue with leveling up, though, sometimes we get stuck. You ever been stuck? There's so many ways to get stuck right now. I mean, maybe you feel like you're stuck in that relationship and you can't get out of it. Maybe you feel like you're stuck fighting for the relationship and you guys just can't seem to figure out how to make it work. Maybe you feel stuck with where you're at with your relationship with your parents right now. And no matter what you do, you just feel like you're letting them down. And you're working hard. You're trying everything, but you just feel stuck. Maybe you feel stuck in your personal life. Maybe you're stuck with a bad habit that you can't shake. Maybe you're stuck because something happened to you a long time ago and you still feel like it's got control over you. Have you been stuck? I got stuck once. I sold books door to door. Don't make fun of me. Sold books door to door. I was 17 years old, had a little red car, and I drove it all the way out to North Carolina. And it was the middle of the summer. It was blazing hot. As a ginger, it was a terrifying experience for me. And all day long, I would knock on doors and try to sell people books, door to door. I know, crazy. It feels like a totally different time. They still do that to this day, though. So it's just nuts. I hated it, and I was so bad at it, and I was all alone all day long. And by the way, I worked 80 hours a week. And so just so you know, the sun is up 96 hours a week, and I worked for 80 of those hours. Someone would come up, and I'd go knock on doors, and someone would sit, and I was still knocking on doors. And one time I got stuck. I was having a miserable summer. It was right near like the second half of the summer, and I was in the middle of nowhere, zero cell phone reception, and I was driving and I saw this giant farmhouse. So I thought two things. Number one, they got money. I bet they buy some books. And secondly, I thought, dude, I need some help. Like, I'm lost. I'm on gravel roads in cornfields right now. Like, I need help. I'm lost. And so I went up to the door and knocked, and the largest man I have ever seen answered the door. I mean, Farmer Dan was giant. He's wearing overalls and boots inside of his house. This guy looked like he wrote the song Cotton Eye Joe, right? Like this guy was like farmer. You know what I'm talking about? Huge guy, and he was so mad that I was knocking on his door. I think he was even mad that people knew that he existed out in the country. He wanted his privacy, and he built that house out there, probably with his bare hands and like a mule or something like that. Knock on the door, and I'm instantly getting attitude from this guy. So I'm like, hey, I'm Jason, I'm selling books. And he's like, yeah, I'm not interested. And dude, he's just so abrasive, so kind of angry that I was there, and I get it. Like, I'm bothering him, and so like totally used to it. And so I didn't sell him any books, and I left. But before I left, I turned around, I was like, excuse me, how do I get slams the door in my face? I'm stuck, middle of nowhere, just had a terrible interaction with the guy, and I am lost with no cell phone reception. I am stuck in every way. Stuck in a job I don't like, stuck in a day that's tough, stuck in middle of nowhere with no cell phone reception. So I'm driving, I'm trying to figure it out on my phone, and there's a cornfield, and then a gravel road, and a ditch. And I'm looking at my phone, and I accidentally veer into the ditch. Now, I didn't go all the way in. It was worse than that. I teetered on the edge. And so literally like the movies, like my axles are on the ground, my wheels are not on the ground, and I'm stuck like this in my car. So I'm like freaking out, like I'm like reversing, nothing's happening, going forward, nothing's happening. I get out of my car and I'm like having a nervous breakdown. I'm like, dude, I am so screwed. I am lost. I am stuck. What am I gonna do? I had three options that I realized in that moment. Option number one was the most attractive, which was lay down in the ditch and die here. Like, I considered it. Like, you ever been there? Like, I was like, that is the only option right now, is for me to die in the ditch. Option two was keep following the road and hope to find someplace new, right? So I was like, maybe I go that way and like maybe I find cell phone reception, or like a kind farmer that isn't scary, or like maybe I do that. Option three, which was the safest option, was go back and ask that guy for help. And so I decided I'm gonna walk 3/4 of a mile back to that farmhouse, and I am shaking the whole time. Literally, I walked so slow. Like, I was like procrastinating every second. Walk so slow, get nervous up on the door, like wait a minute to knock on the thing, and the guy is heated. As soon as he opens the door, dude, he is just seething. Like, I can't believe he's back. And so he opens the door, and before I can even get a word out, he's like, I told you I don't want any books. I don't know why you keep bothering me. I said, sir, I'm stuck. I need help. My car was this, and the cornfield there, and instantly he softened. I almost saw like a little smile on his face. And he took out his hand, and he put it on my shoulder, and he said, hey, we'll help you. Brought me inside, gave me a Sprite to drink, called his son. 12 minutes later, my car was pulled out of a ditch by a truck, and I was on the road again, and I had directions. In 12 minutes, I got help. You and I are in spots in our lives where we are stuck, and no matter how hard you've tried to churn the wheels, no matter how hard you've tried to just lean in or wake up early or stay up later or study harder or work out harder, or no matter how much time that you've spent working on that relationship or caring for that other person, you just have gotten stuck. And you and I are at the point of our lives where we need help. Why do we need help? Because I don't believe that you and I were designed to do life alone. You are going to get stuck sometimes, but there is someone, a God, who loves you. And like, I don't know if you knew this, but this is not a concert venue that you're in right now. This is a church. This is a church, and we follow the Bible, and we believe that Jesus is who he said he is. And he said he's your help. He is your salvation. He can be your savior if you let him. There's real help available. In fact, one of Jesus' quotes is he said this. He said, I have come to give them a rich and satisfying life. Do you want that? I want that. Let me ask you, do you have that right now? Do you have a rich and satisfying life? Because I could be more rich and I could be more satisfied, but you're only going to get that through the relationship with the creator of the universe, through Jesus. There's a lot of people in this world right now that are rich. But have you ever met a rich person who's satisfied? Who didn't want more? Have you ever got that birthday money or that paycheck and thought, oh, I don't need any more money? No. Because you and I we weren't designed to be satisfied by the things of the world. We were designed to be satisfied by relationship with God. And so we're stuck. And maybe you're in a spot right now where you were just so stuck, you can't even see the options. You haven't even got out of the car yet. You're just gripping the steering wheel, hoping something will happen. And maybe that's what tonight is for you to be introduced to somebody who can get you unstuck. Life with Jesus is a life full of hope, not worries. A life full of peace, not anxiety. A life full of joy, not working really, really hard for a weekend that's going to be fleeting. And if you and I want to level up our lives, if we're going to take leveling up seriously, we've got to ask for help. And I'm telling you, there is help available for you in Jesus. Asking for help is not the only way to level up. There's another way. And it's more difficult. It is leaving the old way that you're living, the old life that you were living behind. See, we want both things, and we can't have them. We want all of the new promises of a new life, and we want to have all of the old things in our old life. Like, you do this all the time. I do this all the time. I want to wake up earlier. I want to be the type of person who wakes up super early and has a routine. And I'll set my alarm for earlier, but I'll stay up the night before way too late watching reels. You can't have both. If you want a new level of your life, you've got to leave something behind. And I think you do want something new for your life. In fact, maybe some of the new things are getting more connected around here. Next Sunday, you're invited, by the way, to something called a theme weekend, where at a Crossroads location near you, hundreds of high schoolers are going to gather, and we're going to dress up in the craziest March Madness outfits that we can think of. You want to be a ref? You want to be a basketball? You want to be your favorite team? Whatever it is, and we're having a crazy way for you to get connected around here. Maybe meet someone new. Maybe meet a mentor in your life that can lead you to the next level. One of the best ways for you to level up your life is this summer called camp. It is the most important thing we do all year long because it's an entire population of students. I mean, thousands of people coming together and saying, hey, for 1 week, I'm going to focus on leveling up my spiritual life. You want to have a blast? You want to play in a dodgeball tournament and a volley tournament? You want to meet some amazing friends? You want to feel more connected? You want to have an encounter with God? You better sign up for camp. But no matter what, you and I have to leave something behind. There's a verse in Corinthians that talks about this. It says, anyone who belongs to Jesus has a new life. It says the old life has passed away. It's dead. And the new life is here. You can have new life. You can have a new start, a new respawn, a fresh start. It's available to you, but it's going to require you and me to let go of the old things that are slowing us down.